Alright, good afternoon everyone. It's Wednesday the 11th of July. I'm doing a video for the market outlooks tonight, more like a news highlight for tonight. Tonight at 10 o'clock we have the Canadian, the Bank of Canada rate statement and overnight rate decision. So right now, analysts in general are looking at a possible increase from 1.25% to 1.5%. Alright, so expectation is likely for a rates increase in the Canadian rates increase from 1.25 to 1.5%. Reasons for this expectation of an increase, why people think that they're going to increase rates, is because the Canadian economy has actually been running quite strong recently. Actually, since the increased rates in January to now, it's actually been running quite strong. We're looking at stronger economics. We're looking at last year's growth for Canada was 3%. 2018, they're looking at about a 2% growth, with inflation targets aligned to what the Bank of Canada is looking at 2%. All in all, they're saying that the Canadian economy is running at almost full capacity. So when economy is running at full capacity, what should you be doing? The Bank of Canada is probably going to look to increase rates to slow it down a little bit so the economy does not overheat. Right? So it does not overheat. They can keep it in increased rates so that they have an opportunity in the future that if they need to, at least they have some margin to be able to decrease rates when the economy starts running a bit slower again. So with this rates increase, what we're looking at is it could actually cause the US CAD to go lower. Alright, so US CAD has been on quite a relatively strong uptrend. It's come down, it's sitting at about 1.3150 level right now. So we're looking at it for it to go lower. Okay, how much lower? If it can go below this 1.31 level, we could see it go towards 1.29 or even stronger towards 1.28. So tonight we're actually looking at possibly quite a big move in the US CAD for tonight, given the rate decision and also the rate statements. The rate statements have to say the right things for such a big move to happen. What am I going to be looking at in the rate statements for tonight for the Bank of Canada? Main thing is the trade concerns, the trade with the US. Alright, 17% of Canadian GDP is dependent on the US economy, on trade with the US, exports to the US. So if NAFTA, if the North Atlantic Free Trade Agreement is going to be cancelled, or is going to be renegotiated, or is going to be slowed down, or is going to have more taxes on it, it's going to affect the Canadian economy. Alright, so because of that, Donald Trump has actually said that they're going to renegotiate NAFTA in November. Okay, so we know that we could see a rate increase tonight, but we're looking at the rate statement to tell us what are their plans for the next rate increase. Is there going to be a next rate increase in December or in September? Given that negotiations for NAFTA is going to happen in November, I don't think they're going to increase rates in September next. They're probably going to be looking at December, or as we say, later in the year. So look at the rate statement. What are the concerns in terms of the trade agreements? How is it going to affect? If there's a lot of uncertainty and they think it's going to be very negative, then obviously we don't think that CAD is going to come lower. Okay, but how we look at it is, if they increase rates, US CAD should come lower. If they are saying, okay, let's going to wait and see what happens in November with the negotiations and then decide what to do for the next rate increase, possibly in December, then we could see the US CAD really come quite strongly downwards. Okay, if it goes up, if the US CAD should start shooting up tonight after the rate increase, rate increase, you expect it to come down and it's going up, I would probably be a bit hands off on it, or probably take some small trades, opportunistic trades, especially if you can pinpoint on why it's going up. Mainly it would probably be coming from the uncertainty in trade. Alright, so the news is at 10 p.m. if you are watching this video, if you find it informational and if you like it, and I know a lot of you are having questions about the trade war between the US and China, drop me a message in the group chats. In your group chats, tell me that you want a video about the trade war. If you tell me that you want a video of the trade war, I'll do it. If you don't tell me that you want a video, I'm not going to do a video on the trade war. Alright? So let me know what you want, and then I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye.